I'm going to say this, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't very interested in watching Fastlane. I really am not. Daniel Bryan with Roman Reigns was mainly what I might have been interested in. Particularly being very worried that they're going to try a triple threat with these guys at WrestleMania, which is stupid. And if anybody thinks it's right, give me a full justification why a Daniel Bryan, a Roman Reigns, and a Brock Lesnar should be triple threaded. Because I don't see it doing anyone good here. I'm being honest. But next to maybe Miz Dowd versing The Miz, I wasn't very interested in this pay-per-view, this Fastlane. I wasn't interested in the name. I wasn't interested in the gimmick. I'm not interested in the music. But I will say this, being the go-home show for it, they gave me enough here that I actually am interested in a few things. But certain things in this show made no freaking sense. Not one. Now I'm going to talk about the first thing. Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler. We've seen their matches a couple of times already. We know they can have a very good match. They're both very good wrestlers. They're both very decent high flyers. There's no problem with that. Maybe some people thought this was a match of the night. To be honest, it wasn't for me. Because of the ending of the entire situation. It wasn't the fact that Dolph lost the match. Now, what's happened to Dolph in the last couple of weeks? He's jobbed twice already. Now, technically, he's jobbed again because he got his ass kicked by J&J Security. So, honestly, I don't see anything good for Dolph whatsoever. He's gotten his ass beat twice by Bray Wyatt. And now he just got his butt kicked and technically won from a Seth Rollins. The match is meaningless. But here's the most ridiculous thing of the entire situation. They were hyping that these three guys, a Erick Rowan, a Ryback, and a Dolph Ziggler got their asses kicked out, and then they finally got brought back roughly 2 weeks later. Where did it go from here with them? Absolutely nowhere. A Erick Rowan's not benefiting from this. A Ryback, who is the most strongest person there, that the crowd, when this situation ended in the match, when he came out, they were cheering more for him than they were for Dolph. And even though they did cheer for Dolph, and I'm not against him, he's not as strong as a Ryback. The crowd wants to see a Ryback succeed. But where is he succeeding? I've heard the rumors of him working with Dolph Ziggler, and then maybe they break up and have a feud between themselves, but it's dumb. Dolph does not need to be in a tag team, neither does Ryback. And I just don't see anything working with this. And the most oddest man out is Erick Rowan. You think they're going to do something with Eric when he was dealing with Big Show. It was nothing but a stupid plot device. And here is another thing that is very random and confusing, but I can see the reason why they're doing it. The Ascension was up against Darren Young and a guy that looks like he was from NXT. They got their asses kicked. A Titus O'Neil. I can't stand him doing that shit. I wish he would stop that because he's better than that. Titus, dude, if you let that go and do another gimmick, I really believe it'll work. I mean, I understand when he was a football player, he's doing it for the boys that he used to be with, but come on, man, he's doing it for years. It's not getting over 100%. But here's the thing. Victor and Connor versus Titus and Darren Young. They now got a feud. They had nothing for the Ascension to do, and they were treating them like stupid idiots, saying that they're more better than Demolition, they're more better than Road Warriors, they're more better than Powers of Pain. I had to say it, and that hurts saying it because they're not even close to it. I'm telling you right now, the way they treated the Ascension is stupid. And now bringing the prime... I like the primetime players. I did. But they had their run. They let them go. Now, if they're going to bring them back for a good reason where they maybe have a good push, I'm alright with that. But this is for the Ascension. So they can have a feud, so they can get over because the crowd is not going anywhere with them. I don't see the Ascension not getting fully over with this, even though they'll get the wins. And I'm definitely not going to see the primetime players get over unless they're actually going to push them. I'll be glad to eat crow. I'm glad if I'm wrong. But I don't see that happening. Now here's something I am very happy about, but I wish it would be something a little more. Cody Rhodes. This is what the man looked around 2010 to 11. Going into maybe 2012. Before the mustache. This is the Cody Rhodes we wanted to see. An evil, destructive man. Then we wanted to see him as a face. We don't get a face right here. We get him as a heel. And he's Stardust. I will say that seeing Dusty was good. Seeing him talk about all that bullshit that Cody's talking about means nothing compared to family. I understand that. The match with the New Day is bullshit. I'm so sad that New Day is being used as a plot device for people. They got used as a plot device for Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. Now they're being used for the Dust Brothers. I gotta say that because this is the last time they're gonna be together. I don't need to say the Dust Brothers anymore. Because now that Goldust got his ass kicked, Cody does the crossroads on his ass, and now it's over. The Dust Brothers are no more. And then the final nail in the coffin for them is when Dusty went to his son Cody and said, "Why are you doing this? There's no point in this." He says, "Yes, there is. I'm the one that must be dominant, and I got no fucking father." Understandable, it's needed to be done. But why couldn't it be this Cody Rhodes? I'm not happy to see Cody Rhodes as a heel. He's done his heel bit before. He needs to look like that as a face. He'll probably get way more over as a face and could go into the main title scene because he has great potential to work in it. But they want to do him as a heel and they want to keep him in this gimmick of Stardust, which I think is wrong. But this is what we're stuck with. Here's another thing that was random and stupid, but still did get over. The Bellas acting like teenage 12-year-old girls, stealing some girls' clothes out of the gym. That's what that looked like. You got Brie ahead of Nikki acting like a 12-year-old fucking girl, going out of PE and grabbing some girl's clothes and making sure she has no way to get out of the damn place. And then you think, once you see Paige come out with Byron standing there probably trying to look at some cleavage, which she doesn't have much of. She's very small-chested. Doesn't mean she's not beautiful, but she's just not a big-chested woman. And then you couldn't have the Exotic Express just walk up. You had to have them exactly there. WWE was stupid in that respect. If you're going to go with this, at least make it look good. Have them come around the corner because you can see there was a corner. Have them go, oh, oh, oh. That way would have been more better than them just standing there. But I'll tell you this. When it was time for Paige versus Summer Rae, the crowd actually enjoyed seeing her in a tutu. Seeing her in some weird clothes that, well, Paige is into goth. So that wouldn't really 100% fit her character. She's a dark girl. She likes the dark stuff. But I will tell you this, the crowd actually enjoyed her. And even though Paige looked like she wasn't 100% enjoying it, she did try to do her best to work with it, and she did. And I'm going to be honest here. Seeing this makes me more interested in seeing what I'm not big on Paige being this. I'm not big on seeing the Bella twins like this because it's actually very stupid. I'm not a Bella fan. But the Bellas went from 7 months ago doing something substantial to this. Being 12-year-old girls taking clothes out of a gym during PE to fuck with another girl. That just makes them look so weak and so petty. That doesn't make them heels. It makes them petty and weak. But I will say this, if this is done properly at the end of this, at Fastlane, it might be worth it for the simple reason at least they did something different with Paige, even though it was very stupid. Now, the match I did enjoy, but I thought could have been more. Miz Dower versus Bad News Barrett. Now, seeing Miz Dower get over, the crowd really wants to see him destroy the Miz. And I'm alright with that. And seeing Bad News Barrett lose here, Well, of course he won the match, but did he lose afterward? Yes, he did. Because they kind of lost. How can I explain this? The situation is this. Seeing they did a contract signing. I wanted a real contract fucking signing. Not to see Bad News Barrett get twist tied to a ring post and then Dean Ambrose scribble his name on it. When was the last time, I'm being honest here, ladies and gentlemen, when was the last time you saw a real contract signing for the IC Championship? You're doing something with John Cena and you're doing something with Rusev. Why not a real contract signing? I'm botching now, but you see I'm angry. A real contract signing between Bad News Barrett and Dean Ambrose. I can understand the reason why they went this way, because they didn't build fucking nothing up for Dean Ambrose to work with. They didn't. So they had no other way to make this really viable but to make him so crazy. He had to tie up Bad News Barrett and get him to sign that, which is fucking stupid. I would like to see him say, you know what, I want to get that title. I've gone through other IC champions. They did say that. And the segment in the beginning of the show wasn't that bad. I don't really care about Saturday Night Live. I don't watch it. But you understand what I mean. Why couldn't they make this special? You're getting John fucking Cena to get after the US Championship. Why can't you let Dean Ambrose, who was so hot 4 months ago, have something special? Do a legitimate contract signing for the IC Championship in the middle of the ring. You could have done that. Even if it had to be on SmackDown, you could have done it. That would have been more substantial than this. But it wasn't 100% bad, but I'm not happy about it. Now we're talking about John Cena. The opening of the show. The opening of the show with John Cena and Rusev. I'm going to say this. I don't give a damn about John Cena. I'm not against him, but I don't give a damn about him as long as he's in the main title scene. I've seen him there so long. For so many years. I don't want nothing to do with John. But seeing him in the US title hunt, I'm actually interested. You know why? One, he's no longer in the main title scene. So seeing him there was actually quite nice. Two, he didn't talk too bad dealing with Rusev. I'm actually surprised that his segment was not that bad. I am not fond of seeing him get 100% beat down. I'm talking about Rusev. But he got knocked out by the Big Show. He got beat the fuck up by Mark Henry. But still, he rose the occasion and beat the shit out of them both. So seeing this actually gives me hope that at least in this fast lane, he will at least have some rub from John Cena. But that only counts on how long he deals with John Cena. Because if he deals with John Cena too long, he will be buried like everyone else. And you know only one person managed to survive that. And that was Daniel Bryan. And that was barely surviving. Barely. But now let's move on to let me see what's left to talk about. The thing I'm very interested in seeing. Husband and wife versus husband and wife. And I'm sure no one cares, but I do care. Naomi has been on the roster for more than 2 years. I really believe that this could be her year to actually get the Divas Championship. So why not give her something to do? Look what happened last year. She was dealing with The Miz and her husband. Now she's dealing with Tyson Kidd and Natalya. It's like they're testing to see how the crowd really is into her. And I know this is not a really great gimmick. And I know this is about the Usos dealing with Kidd and Cesaro. But I really believe, if you guys saw when Naomi came down with the Usos in this match, how do you think it would look? If you see the Usos as tag champs and Naomi as Divas champ, it actually would look good to seeing that that family has dominance and has all, well, 2 titles, the tag titles and the Divas Championship. I really believe it would actually be something interesting. And Naomi gets the pin on Natalya. You would think that Jimmy should get the pin over Tyson Kidd, but no. Of course, this is about Total Divas, but still, I'm cool with that. I want to see Naomi succeed, and they got a match at Fastlane. Finally, the 2 matches that people will probably want to talk about and the brawl. Kane versus Roman Reigns. Big Show versus Daniel Bryan. The difference between the two is that Roman Reigns won his match, Daniel Bryan got DQ'd, and he lost his match. Both matches were standard. The difference is that both guys, and I'm talking about Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, were teasing one another while it was going on. Yes! And understand this. Most of that yes chants dwindled by the end of the match with Roman Reigns. So most of the crowd actually changed their mind about him to a certain extent. So his cheers were dropped. But when it came to the reverse, when it was time for Roman Reigns, him doing signing, him throwing t-shirts, the crowd didn't 100% chant for Daniel Bryan. But they didn't want to chant for Roman Reigns either. Until the brawl. And I will say this. Other than the camera work that constantly doing the viewing in and out, which I hate, this was one of the best brawls I've seen in quite a while. Seeing this brawl made me interested in watching Fastlane now. Because these two got good chemistry in a fight. They do. I want to see Roman Reigns fight with a Daniel Bryan. But here's my fear. I've heard what some people have been saying that they want to see Daniel Bryan go up against Brock Lesnar. Some people like the Slick Daddy and a couple other people I've seen. I don't think the wrestling gurus have said it. But essentially speaking, they believe there's going to be a three-way between Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar. Which I think and I feel and I know is going to be a terrible thing to do. Simply put, Daniel Bryan can have his moment at SummerSlam. He came back just recently in January. Rushing him into the main title scene is dumb. And as much as people who love Daniel Bryan are going to say, no, it's not dumb because he's the best. He's only the best when he has challenges put in front of him. Being one of the best technical wrestlers does not mean that it translates in being the best with having all the five tools necessary to get everyone over. I understand the hardcore fans. I'm not a hardcore fan. I am a mark, just like everybody else, but I'm an above average fan. I know stuff, but I don't want to know everything. I want the mystique of things. I want to see some type of drama, some type of build. And Daniel Bryan is not giving you a build because Daniel Bryan has no real obstacle in front of him. He doesn't. Yeah, he lost the Royal Rumble, but doesn't mean much because what is he doing? Brock Lesnar, if he stays past WrestleMania, could easily be his challenge. But you got to give Daniel Bryan more of a challenge. Roman Reigns is not at the caliber above a Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is one of the top faces in the company. Roman Reigns is not. So even though he's popular, he's not there yet. That's the reason why he needs to go over to WrestleMania. But you teaming all three of these guys together in a triple threat, or having Daniel Bryan face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania is wrong. Build Daniel Bryan up as he is. He's an underdog class wrestler. He is. That's the reason why people love him, because he got to struggle. If you throw him at Brock Lesnar and he wins, what now? Yes, he wins against Brock Lesnar. Who now? Seth Rollins? Seth Rollins doesn't have the same strength as a Brock Lesnar and considered being beastly. Kane? Big Show? No. John Cena? He'll be at the US Championship if he wins it. So essentially speaking, everything that every fan who loves Daniel Bryan wants, you're going to negate that if he actually goes to WrestleMania and faces Brock. Brock, once he leaves the company, who is he going to be the most strongest person? Sheamus? Sheamus has not been a strong heel for a long time. So who is your boy going to go up against? And I'm not against Daniel Bryan. I actually like him. But only when he's in the position that he's supposed to be in. He's an underdog. He is one of the most best underdogs we have in the company right now. But if he wins everything, he's boring. He's going to be boring like a John Cena. And as much as you guys say no, let's see what happens when he becomes generic. What happens if he does win and all the way up to Survivor Series he does a Super Cena type of thing? A Super Bryan. What are you going to do then? So I'm hoping at Fastlane, Roman Reigns wins. Because if he goes up against Brock and he wins against Brock, you can build Daniel Bryan going against a Roman Reigns all the way up the Survivor Series. So when there's a really good payout at one of the 4 pay-per-views, it'll make sense. So this wasn't a bad go-home show. The Brawl made the show for me. So I hope you enjoyed the Zane View. Please give me a comment below. Tell me how you feel about this. And have a good day and have a good night. Peace!